Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and thank you for joining us. We're featuring Scott Williams today with a puzzle called That Boy Ain't Right. I'll tell you something about the genesis of that puzzle title when I start the rules, if I can remember it. Anyway, don't forget that we've got the incredible Extra Byte Sudoku Hunt 5x5 puzzles, but 68 of them. That's out on Patreon, and it's by Skunkworks. Absolutely fabulous. So many different constructors. No two puzzles by the same constructor. That's the promise there, and it is absolutely brilliant. There's even a puzzle at the end of the set by ourselves. Do check that out. It's good fun. And also on Patreon we've got connections videos and solving tough crossword videos as well that'll give you hours of entertainment, if you consider that entertainment. I hope you do, because you're here watching this. What else have we got? We've got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD linked under the video, and of course all of our apps which feature Sandwich Sudoku, our first ever app. We're doing some sandwiching today, and Line Sudoku, one of our very recent apps. The largest full-size one is Fog of War, and then there are the Worms by the likes of James Sinclair, Marty, Sears, Michael Lefkowitz, and Phistomefel, and you can get those through our apps. Just check the links. They're brilliant. Right, let's have a look at the rules of That Boy Ain't Right. Now, that title, Scott told me what he was watching. He said the title doesn't really have a lot to do with the puzzle. It's just a reference to what he was watching. And it wasn't American Dad or South Park. It was another TV cartoon series that I don't watch. Was it King of the Hill? Is that the one with BoJack Horseman? I don't know. Anyway, I think it was King of the Hill, and that must be a phrase from it. Sounds like a phrase from some lyrics I know. The one where the guy goes down to the river and all the townspeople say, that boy ain't right. I don't know what song that is either. I don't know what's in my head. That's the sad truth of it all. What I do know is that we are applying normal Sudoku rules in this puzzle, 1 to 9 in each row, column and 3x3 box. Identical digits may not be a chess knight's move apart. This is very appropriate. It was Scott's mother, Emily, who donated me these chess pieces, which I get out to remind me, and it's Nighty McKnightface's turn today. So you can't have two digits in those cells that were the same because of the knight's move rule, or in those two. Now, each pink line contains a set of consecutive digits in any order. Those are Renban lines. Clues outside the grid give the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So in this column, the sum of the digits sandwiched between the 1 and the 9, in whatever order they appear, is 23. So that's the rules. Do give it a try on that first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So what I like to do, if possible, and it is a bit here, in puzzles with sandwich rules, is colour the grid green for digits that cannot be the crusts, 1 and 9, and red if we are the crusts. And a column that has a total of 30 has to have at least 5 digits in the sandwich, because the highest 4 digits you can put in the sandwich are 8, 7, 6 and 5. They add up to only 26. So to get to 30, you have to have at least 5 digits. And I think that means I can paint the middle cells green here, the middle 3 cells. If we're going to have a length of at least 5 and maybe 6, we've got to include those. And then the sandwichy, the crusty digits, there's one up here and one down here. In fact, even the 23 column, we can make the middle cell green, because once you get over 21, you've got to have 4 digits in the sandwich, and you've got to include the middle cell. Now, this may not be all that helpful in this puzzle, because there aren't that many sandwich clues provided. Oh, here's another thought about this column, which has a 0 sandwich sum. The 0 sandwich sum means that the 1 and the 9 are next to each other, and they can't both be on this Renban. What is it, 8 cells long? Because the Renban can't have both 1 and 9 on it. It can have one of them. Indeed, it does have one of them. It's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it can't have them both on. So those two cells and those two cells are not able to have the 1 and 9 on. Nor those two exactly. But that doesn't mean I can green either of them because that could be a 1, 9 with another one there, and that could be a 1, 9 with another one here. I mean, this has not got me very far. And there are so few sandwich clues. This is quite a difficult... I don't know, I don't think I'm really getting very far here. I think what might be better to do in this puzzle is think about geometry and this cell, for instance. So where is Mr. Purple in the central box? It's not appearing again on its line because these are consecutive digits on this line, not repeats. It doesn't appear in those cells. It doesn't appear there. So that purple, and it's not a knight's move away. So that purple is here. And maybe we can do sort of knight's move colouring Sudoku stuff. Oh, in that case, the colouring I've done is blooming useless and needs to be got rid of. Okay, let's get rid of it for the time being. Let's forget all that green and red stuff that I carefully told you all about. Let's just find individual cells, because this one now appears in one of those two. It can't be there by knight's move for column 4. Oh, this is a very interesting place. Oh, we're away, we're away. This is... Oh, Scott's done something brilliant here. And I've lucked into it by looking at this cell and figuring out that it's here. I would not normally have looked at row 4, column 6 in this puzzle. And row 4, column 6 is a very, very key cell. I'll let you have a look and see if you can work out why. But it's beautiful. And it's to do with this triangle. Right, the point is, where does that appear on the triangle? Not in those cells or those cells by normal Sudoku, and not in those two by knight's move. It doesn't appear on the triangle Renban line, and therefore it is a 1 or a 9, and it is a crust, and I'm going to change the colour from pink to red. That's really, really strange. We've found a crust by the most strange means possible that involves knight's move and Renban, and I've therefore never found a crust in a sandwich puzzle in that way before. Oh, that's lovely. And this tells us all sorts of things. All sorts of deductions are possible now, he said bravely, not only having made a couple of them, but one of them is about the sandwich in this column. That's a crust. We have to have at least 5 cells in the sandwich. That's those ones. So I'm going to briefly colour them green again. Although I'm going to get rid of that in a moment, but I'm just showing you where the sandwich cells are. The other end, the other crust is here. I'm going to make that orange, not red. And we're going to see if we can make the sandwiches, the different crusts, red and orange in this puzzle. Now, those two are green. Now, these two are important because if you add up the 30 that are in the sandwich, according to the clue, the 1 and the 9 that must make up the crusts, that's 40. These two we can deduct from the secret number that is the sum of every row, every column and every box that you know very well. It's 45 if you didn't. You've now got the power of the secret about Sudoku. And that means these two add up to 5 and they don't include a 1 because these are the 1-9 pair. So this is a 2-3 pair. And there's more, because this digit is not the 3. How do I know that? Well, think about the sandwich in this row. It's beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And there's more. There's more after this. It just gets better. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. Why is this not a 3? Because in this row, the sandwiched digit or digits add up to 3. Well, they can't include a 1 because that's always in the crust. So it has to be a single cell 3. So if this digit was a 3, it would be the sandwich, and these would be the crusts for the row, but that would give us 3 lots of 1 and 9 for the box. And each box only has 1 1 and 1 9. So that can't be a 3, that must be a 2. And it is not the sandwich. And we get a 3 here instead, and we've got a digit in the puzzle. Now, there's so much more that I've been thinking. Right, the first thing is, I am just briefly going to carry on the green colouring. The 10 sum in this row is at least 2 cells. It's either 2 or 3 cells. If it was 3 cells, those 3 cells would have to be 2, 3, 5. And in this box, we've already had 2 and 3. The digit here would have to be a 5. But whether it's 2 or 3 cells, the cells either side of this are definitely not crusts, because the other crust is at least 3 cells, maybe 4 cells away, depending on which side the sandwich occurs. If the sandwich is over here, the crust is over here, and then all of these are in the sandwich and those are outside it. But if the crust is over here, these are in the sandwich and those are outside it. Okay, now I hope I'm not onto the last thing that I've been thinking, and I might be. No, I'm not. There's lots more. There's lots more. Next thing I'm going to mention is that this digit is on a Renban, and it's extreme. It's 1 or 9. If that is a 1, the Renban in the box 5 contains 2, 3, 4, and 5. If, on the other hand, this is a 9, if that was a 9, the Renban here would be 8, 7, 6, and 5. And these digits wouldn't be allowed to be 1, 9, 3, 2, 8, 7, 6, or 5. They'd all have to be 4. That's not feasible. So this is not a 9. That's a 1. These digits are 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to colour them green. Oh, okay. Well, that's got in the way. Anyway, the orange cell is 9. That one is the 1 because it had to be the same as this. It has to appear in box 5. Now, what I was going to tell you was that the 0 sandwich sum in this column meant that the 1 either had a 9 there or there as its partner, and we could colour all these green, and then we could have worked out that wasn't 1 or 9 because it sees them both. But in fact, you can just look at all the greens in this box and say that must be the orange, because we're looking for 1 red, 1 orange, and 7 green in every row, column, and box at the moment. Okay, so I want to do more. I've kind of shot my bolt. No, this is a 6, 7, 8 triple because that's all that's left in the box. This is a 4, 5 pair. These digits are not from 1, 2, 3, or 9. They're from 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. I don't have anything else clever to tell you. I mean, that's green. I am probably still going to get rid of the greens at some point because I imagine we're going to want to do other colours. But, oh, I don't know. This colour scheme's working for me at the moment, so we might continue. Now, in this bottom row, somewhere in the row, we're going to have a sequence of 1, 3, 9, either looking east or looking west. This cell cannot be a 1 or a 9, because that cell would have to be as well. So that's green. But we don't know whether the pair is here or here or here, the pair of crusts. I mean, I'm really in admiration of this puzzle at the moment because those deductions we've done have been really very beautiful. Here's another thing. These two, we'll remember the knight's move. They can't be 1 or 9 in either case, so they're green. That one sees a 1 and a 9 by knight's move, so that's green. This Renban needs a 9 on. We've worked out it doesn't have a 1 on. It has all the other digits, and it needs a 9 in one of those 3 cells. Okay, well, we don't know which one that is, but they do all see a number of cells. They all, like, let me highlight those in yellow. These are cells that could be, that one of which is a 9, these 3 cells. So this cell can't be a 9, because whichever one of those is a 9, it sees that, either by Knight's move or regular Sudoku. So that can't be a 9. This one can't be a 9. This one can't be a 9. These 3 can't be a 9 by Sudoku. So the only place for 9 in this box is one of those 2 cells. That's quite interesting. If the 9 was here, I'm going to remove the yellow, that was just illustrative. If the 9 was here, we would have 4 greens and a 1 down here. And these 4 greens would add up to 23. Wouldn't they? I think they would. If the 9 was here, well, then where's the 9 in this column? It can't be there by Knight's move. It would have to be in one of these 2 cells, and the 1 would be up the top. And I think in both of those circumstances I've just described, this cell is always green. It can't be a 9 by Knight's move. If that was a 1, you'd have to have a 9 here, and that's not happening. That cell is green. Oh, and that's really helpful, because now we know that one of these 2 is red or orange, is a crust. Okay, let's not colour them, but one of them is a crust, because this 23 sum needs a crust up here and a crust down here, and these are in the sandwich. Now, one of those is a crust. Now I know that these 2 aren't crusts, or there'd be 3 in box 9. So these 2 are not in the sandwich action down here. Also, this digit is not a 3 by Knight's move. So those 2 aren't crusts in this row. It must be there and there. And the 3 is here. And all of these go green in my colour scheme. And that one. And now we've found orange in box 8. And now there's a 9 in one of these 2 cells and a 1 in one of those 2, not here by Knight's move. I want more sandwich clues. So the 10 sum is over here. It's either 3 cells that are 5 and, well, actually they'd go 5, 2, 3. We've got a Knight's move from there. Or they're 2 cells that don't have a 5 here. That could be 4, 6, 7, 3, or 8, 2. They couldn't be 7, 3 because we can't put a 3 there. So that's not a 7. And therefore this digit is not an 8. Now, one of these 2, where's 1 in this box? It's not in those cells. So it's in one of those 3. We're going to probably have to do some Knight stuff, or maybe think more about this Renband. Like, where do 4 and 5 go on this Renband? I think that's slightly interesting, because they can't go in these cells in box 2, where there's already a 4-5 pair. Those 2 cells see that. So the 4 and 5 are going to have to be crammed into these 4 cells, which I thought was going to be 3, but is 4. I don't know, maybe it's not that interesting after all. Oh, that 3 sees these 2, so they don't have a 3 on. One of these 2 is now a 3, and one of these 3 is now a 3 by ordinary Sudoku. What other Knight's move stuff is going on that I can't figure out? Oh, right, one of those 2 is a 9 we worked out earlier. This digit is not a 9, because either we've had the 9 on the line, or we've had the 9 in column 9. So that's green, not a 9. 9 is now on exactly one of those 2 cells, because the line needs 1, and we've only got those 2 left. If that's a 9, that has to be a 9, then we get a 9 here. if that's a 9, we get a 1 here. This 9-1 pair are diagonally opposed because the 23 column needs exactly one of them. And the row needs 1 9 and the column needs 1 1. So they're sitting in a diagonal in some way. I'm also looking at the fact that if... Oh, hang on. Oh, this is lovely. I don't think this digit can be a 9. I might have got this wrong. If this digit was a 9, that sees those 2 cells and that one. The only place for 9 in box 6 would be there. And that would leave no places for 9 in box 3, because this one would see that cell and this one on the line sees that cell. So this digit is not a 9. This digit is a 9 and is orange. And now these two are green and this is a red 1. That's good. This digit is green because it sees a 1 and a 9. Surely there's... Oh, we've done the 9 up here. And that's great because now we need 9 on the green, on the pink line, and that has to be there. So those are both 9s and we're firing. We're going to get a 9 in one of those cells. A 9 in one of those 2. Can't be there by knight's move from here. Okay, I can green a few things in this column. I can find 1 in this box by knight's move. Oh, we've got a little deadly pattern of 1 9 there. Then there's a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Again, knight's move keeps it out of that cell, so we've got a 1 9 pair there. I could green everything in this column and in that box, and in column 1. And now 9 is confined to those. Now, 1s up here. Those can't be 1s. That can't be a 1 on the knight's move. And we also actually know that this Renban didn't have a 1 on. So 1 is in one of those 2 cells. 1 is in one of those 2 cells. That's an X-wing on 1s. That greens all of these cells and makes these a 1 9 pair, I think. Although not resolved by a knight's move from anywhere. However, in column, in column 2, we've got a 1 9 pair, and these 2 cells, which are consecutive, add up to 13. Well, I know what they are. That's a 6 7 pair. That's brilliant, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? So one of these is a 1. One of these is a 1. How? Okay, we've got the 23 sum in this column. So the outies, 45 minus 23 is 22. Minus the 1 and the 9 is 12. The outies add up to 12. And they're either these 2 cells or these 3 cells. If they're the 2 cells, they don't have a 3 or a 9 in. They would either be a 4 8 or a 5 7 pair. If they're the 3 cells, they could be 2 4 6, 2 3 7, 3 4 5, I suppose. Okay, I need to think about the Renban more. All right, these 4 cells were going to hold the 4 and the 5, weren't they? And now one of them is gone. So the 4 and the 5 are in amongst these. Oh, hang on. Here's something. This is a 2 3 4 5 set. Don't they all see? I was hoping they all saw that cell, but they don't. They all see this cell. So that can't be 2, 3, 4 or 5 and must be 6, 7 or 8. Its digit in box 5 is in one of those 2. And then it's up here on this line. So, well, that doesn't prove anything really. There was always going to be one digit from 6, 7, 8 on that line. Oh, I found 3 in this row. It can't be there by night smooth. Well done if you spotted that earlier. Now, where's 3 in this box? Not in those cells. So it's in one of those, and it's not there on that line because we already had a 3 on the line, so it's here. Keep going 3s. You're doing a super job. That has run out. Well, there's a 3 in one of those 2. No, that's huge. The 3 can't be on the line there, remember, because it's already on the line. And now there is a 3 in one of those 2, so there can't be a 3 in either of these 2, or it'll see the other one by night smooth. So that is the 3 in box 2. We found it on the line. First digit we've got on the line that wasn't a crust. Now, what with that? There's no 3. We've virtually used... Oh, we've got this 10 row. I was going to say we've virtually used all the sandwich clues, but we haven't. We absolutely haven't finished the 23 clue. And we certainly haven't considered the 10 clue. Well, you have. I forgot. It's a 2-cell clue now. That is not a 5, therefore. That is an even digit, apparently. And this one is 6, 4, or 2, also even. This is now an odd digit on the Renban with an even digit. So it's 5 or 7. Where does that appear? In this box, not in those cells. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all the green, actually, because we might want to start using some other colours now. So let's go pink for that, and that must appear in one of these 2. Actually, this might be a smart time to get onto other colours. So I could colour my greens in, my 3s in yellow. This is 5 or 7. That's a bit tricky because I don't know what it means for this group. Oh, the other one of 5 or 7 is in these cells. And now this digit must see both the 5 and 7 in that group and can't be 5 or 7 and must be even. Does that help with the outie sum? Well, one of the outie sum possibilities earlier was 2, 3, 7. That's gone the way of all flesh, thanks to that 3. So the outies are either a 4, 8 pair down here. I don't think they can now have... Yeah, how many how many odd digits can the outies have in? The outies, remember, add up to 12 in this column. So they either have 0 or 2 odd digits. But they can't get any odd digits in these 2 cells. That might be wrong. Maybe this can be odd. No, this can't be odd. We've just proved that. 5 and 7 are in that group. This can't be odd. So if they were to get 2 odd digits, they would be here and here. But the only 2 odd digits that are available are 5 and 7. And they already add up to the full sum of the outies, and we've got another even here. So the outies are only made up of even digits in this column, and it's either a 4, 8 pair down here or a 2, 4, 6 triple in those 3. So this one is even now. I don't know which even digit it is, but it is something. That's not a 2 by Sudoku. In fact, where does 2 go in this box? It goes in one of those 2 cells. Now, if that's a 2, this is a 4, 6 pair. We can't get to 12 in those 2 cells. And if that's a 2, this is 8. And then that's 7, and that's 6. And we've got 4 and 5 down here, and this is a 6, 7, 8 triple. So if that's a 2, no, hang on, where was I starting? I was starting with that being a 2. Oh, this was a 4, 8 pair. So a 6, 7, 8 triple there needs a 4 here, 8 here. I think that works. With a 4 here, definitely. Sorry about the texts pinging in. I'm wildly popular today. Now, I might be missing the point. We were going along very well and I've got a bit stalled now, but I liked this stuff about these outies. I just want to do a little bit more thinking about them. we've got an even digit here. So it seemed very constrained if this was a 2. That's 8, 7, 6. That would be 7, because it would see 8 and 6. One of these would be 6. I don't quite know what to do. So if that was 2, that would be 8, and this would be a 4-8 pair, but that 8 would reach this cell, so this would be 4. That kind of fits in. Oh, I mean, goodness, you'd actually get the 4-5 pair resolved. So what I'm saying is if that's 2, we've got 8 here, 7 on the Ren band, 6 over there, 4 and 5 here that are resolved because this becomes a 4. So we definitely get 5 here. If that's not 2, then this is 2. And this is then a 2, 4, 6 triple. That's interesting. And this is 1 in that circumstance. Whichever one of these is 1 is going to resolve these 1 9s over this side in a way that nothing else can. That's quite interesting, unless I'm missing something. I think that is true. I think the next step is here. Although, as I said, we haven't actually resolved. Well, yeah, I'm trying to get the play between that 10 sum and this outie 12 thing. 5 and 7 have to be in the sandwich here. Right. Now that's an interesting point, actually. Five and 7 are not outies because the outies are even. So they're in the sandwich and they add up to 12 of it. Oh, that can't be right. I've got something wrong. No, they do. And there's a 3 in it as well. That's fine. So that's 15 of the sandwich is the odd digits. The rest of the sandwich is 8. It's either a single 8 or a 2-6 pair. 4 is always out of the sandwich. So these 2 digits are not 4s. 4 also can't be here because it sees those 2, or here because it sees those 2 in the box. And therefore the 4 on the line actually has to be here. That's rather a surprising finding. I want it to be incredibly helpful. 5 on this line is now in one of these 2 cells. I shouldn't really pencil mark a digit across boxes because that confuses me, but it is there somewhere. And that means there are a number of cells that can't be 5, like this one and this one. They both see them both. So the 5 in this box is now in one of those 3 places. That's interesting. This digit can't be 8 because it sees a 6, 7, 8 triple. Eight can be in the sandwich if the sandwich is 3, 8, 5, 7. And 1 is here. Oh, I can't quite see anything more yet. Oh, goodness, give me a moment. This is so confusing and taxing. Oh, 2 is in one of those cells. That means 2 can't be in any of these cells because they both see all of them, weirdly. This is something we've learned from Knight's Move puzzles before. That whole group of cells sees that whole group of cells as well. It's a sort of weird mirror thing. But anyway, 2 can't be in those cells. So the 2 in box 6 is in one of those 2. Now 2 on the line can't be here because they both see that position. If that was a 2, that's where 2 is in box 9. And then 2's in one of those cells. Then 2 is not on the line up here. If that's a 2, do we learn anything? I'm not sure we do. Now, one of the possibilities for the sandwich was 2 and 6 being in it. With that being a 4-8 pair, this would be 2, 6, 5, 7. Now, the 2 can't be here, and it can't be here. The 2 would have to be in one of those positions. This can't be a 2, because this sees every other cell on the line. Oh, that might have implications for what it can be. This position, oh, it's just like that one, isn't it? I just didn't work this out. This position sees every cell on this pink line. Oh, that's taken me ages, but it's vital. Doesn't it? It sees those 3, it sees those 3, it sees those 2. This is the only digit that's not on that pink line, and we know that's a 1. Oh, that's taken a long time of not noticing it. And it's a shame, because I was led to that digit by this one, and I could then see what that was doing. I never realised it would have a counterpart exactly there. Oh, I'm a muppet. Right, on the Knight's move, that's 9, that's 1, then by regular Sudoku, 9, 1, 9, 1. And we might as well correct the colouring for those. All the 1s and 9s are done. It has changed this 23 sum. Now the outies are 2, 4, 6. We've worked out at some laborious length that they're all even, and they have to be 2, 4, 6. So I'm getting rid of 8 out of those cells. For now, I'm going to make that 2, 4, or 6. I have a suspicion we might have worked out it can't be 2, but I don't know. In fact, oh no, I was just about to say very cleverly, where is this digit on the line? It's got to be there. But if it's a 4, it could be that one. So, okay, I don't know. That's a 2, 4, 6 triple. This is now not a 2. It's not in the sandwich. This is the only position for 2 in box 6. These are 5, 7, 8. And we need 5 on the line, so this one is not 5. Come on, this is doing something. So on the line, we now have, well, we've still only got 9, 3, and 4. And 2 out of 5, 7, 8. We need 2 and 6 to be on the line in these positions somewhere. Amongst these positions. And what do they all see? They all see that cell. So that can't be 1, 9, 4, 5, 3, or 2, or 6. That is 7 or 8. Oh, it's complicated, isn't it, this? I still don't know what this sandwich is doing, do I? This 10 sandwich? No, don't think so. Where's 2 in box 3? Honestly, I'm none the wiser about that. That's really shocking at this point. I know 3's in one of those cells. And I know it's in one of these. Oh, goodness me. Still having to struggle and strain. I've got this 2, 4, 6 triple that I was sort of thinking was exciting earlier. This is now a 5, 7, 8 triple, clearly. In the box. And these digits, well, one of them is 4 or 6. Ah, but that 2, 4, 6 triple, see this cell, all of them see that cell. Knight's move and horizontal. So that is not 4 or 6. That's from the 5, 7, 8 group. Now we've got the triple in the bottom row, and this is 4 or 6. Now, where is this digit? Let's call it blue. In this box has got to be there. And do we know which one of these is an 8? No. No, in fact, that could be 7. Oh, doesn't this tell me something here? It literally doesn't, does it? Okay, that... No, I was going to say that's part of the 246 triple, but I don't know. If it's an 8, it's not. Oh, I think I'm really just confusing myself at this point. Pink and blue are both in these cells somewhere, based on where they are in these boxes. What's the other cell here? It could be a 2. That's so maddening. It could be a 2. If it couldn't be a 2, 2's in one of those two. And then the other cell up here is that not being a 2, I think. I'm not even sure now. Yeah, in this row, we've had 9, 3, 1. And therefore, these 3 must be those 3. So let's give this a colour. It's a bit weird, but it must be true that pink, blue and grey are those 3 now. But the trouble is, I don't know what they are. This is probably daft pencil marking at this point. I'm not going to erase it yet, but I'm prepared to erase that stuff. I probably need to think about this line more. 9, 4, 3. Are there any more cells that see everything on it? There aren't, because that's in the position that sees all those 3 and those 3. However, there are positions that see almost everything on it, like this one. That sees those. Yeah, this position sees all of these cells on. Well, it doesn't see the 3. Oh, okay. The 2 positions on the line it doesn't see, and therefore could be, are there and there. And since it's not a 1, it is something on the line, and it is either that digit or this one. Now, if it was that one, it would be here. Oh, look, in box... Oh, that's interesting. In box 2, it would have to be there. So it's not a 5. Yeah, it's not a 5 because it sees those 2. So this is 3, 7 or 8. I mean, it's a bit interesting, maybe not very interesting. Oh, there is a 6 in one of those 2 by elimination. And therefore this digit isn't a 6 because it sees them both. Therefore one of these is a 6. This isn't a 6 because one of these is. I'm still stuck like a squealing pig. Okay, I'm looking at this cell now. This cell does not appear in any of these cells. So I'm looking at my new green. That doesn't appear in any of those cells. Now, that doesn't sound very impressive because it's either that digit, 2, 3 or 5, or that digit. But if it is that digit that's green, it must be that. So it can only be 7 or 8. If it's that digit, it's also here, so it can't be 3. That would cause a 2, 4, 5 triple amongst those cells, which all see that, which would be a 3. I mean, it feels mighty powerful, but it doesn't quite do anything. Oh, goodness, I'm missing the whole point again. It's so frustrating to be so slow at what I'm meant to be able to see. Okay, let's look for more cells here that see almost everything on this line. Right, this digit. The trouble is it doesn't see everything. It doesn't see those 3 cells on the line. Now I know it can't be a 3, but that leaves it still with 2 possible cells it could be. And one of them I haven't even got any candidates in. Well, mind you, I could put the candidates in there. And if this cell has to be one of those two, it can't be a 2. So it must be 5, 6, 7, or 8. I think I am over pencil marking now. Well, hang on though. Where's this in this box? It can't be there or there. This must be there or there. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going at the moment. 2 in box 1 is in one of those cells. Box 3, I mean, sorry. Which is quite interesting because they all see that. So I'm eliminating 2 off that. That sees it on the same Renban line. So this digit is a 6, 7, or an 8. So 2 on the line is in one of those 2 cells, and they both see this one. So that can't be a 2. Now 2 in box 3 is reduced to one of 2 places, as it is in box 9. 2 in box 2 has been reduced to one of 2 places. I hadn't noticed that. They both see this cell, so that's not a 2. Now it's one of 3 places here. Do they all see somewhere useful? No. But this has become 3 or 5. And where's that? Okay, I'm going to give this a new colour. Dark green. Where's that in this box? Not in those cells. So it's in one of these 2. And then it's somewhere over here. That doesn't look powerful. But where is it up here? Not in those. But it could be yellow, so it could be there. Well, it's either there or there. Gosh, it could be yellow, couldn't it? Probably is. It's in one of those 2. It's 3, 4, or 5. So down here, I'm not sure. Well, it's not 4. It's 3 or 5, obviously, so it's not there. It's in one of these. Oh, it's so close to giving me something. If it was a 5, that would be a 7, 8 pair. This would be a 5, 6 pair. That would be 2 and 4. This would be a 7, 8 pair. That would be 6. Oh. Ah, if I could say 7, I'd get an X. There is an X-wing of some sort between those 2. Now, could it be both 6 and 7 that were X-winged here? Okay, depending what this is. If this is an 8, this is a double 6, 7 X-wing, and that's a 6, 7 pair. And then we could fill in 5 and 8, and we'd get loads done. If that's a 7, though, there's just a 6 X-winged here. But there's got to be something X-winged here as well. Could this be without a 5? If that was a 7, 8 pair, this would be 6, 7. This would have to be 6, 8. Can row 6 survive that? This would be 6 and 5. This would be 2 and 4. This would be a 7, 8 pair. Seeing that cell, which would be 6. Oh, it's so close to being utterly impossible. Sorry, I can't see the last relationship I need. Let's look at this cell, which can't be in any of those places. So, well, is that interesting? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not interesting. 5, 7, 8. Well, I haven't done this sandwich sum, but I've done... Oh, 6 is in one of those cells. This digit can't be a 6. Oh, that's huge. Now that's a 2, 4 pair, and this digit is a 6. And this one's a 4, and that can't be a 4. And these can't have a 4 on. The 4 in the central box is here. Now, does that reach somewhere by Knight's move? No, not to these 2. But that's a 2, 3, 5 triple. This is not a 2 anymore. This is 6, 7 or 8. This is a 2. That's the 2 on the line, so that's not a 2. That's now a 2. That's going to sort out grey and 2 down there. Grey is a 4. I don't think I needed these colours at all, did I? Well, I don't know. Maybe I haven't finished with them yet. But 4 in these cells is not on the line. It's there. I wonder how long that's been available. Probably an awful long time. Anyway, I don't know. 4 by Knight's Move sees that. And now this digit can't be there. And must be there. And must be a 3. So a little of the colouring helped. One of these two is a 3. That's not a 3. This is, in fact, it's also not a 2. That's a 5. And we might be on the verge of cracking this puzzle. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's not get overexcited about that yet till we get a bit further. This 10 sum, I can do that. That's an 8. This is now 7 on the Renban. This is 5. That's 6 at the top. Blue is 5. These two are a 7, 8 pair. There's a Knight's Move to sort that out. Right, let's get rid of all the colouring. No, I don't know. Should we get rid of all the colouring? Votes on a postcard. Just corrected the 3 colouring now. 3 in this box must be there, mustn't it? Yeah. Then one of these 2 cells is a 3. I don't know which one. Okay, but we're doing great. We're on this line. We've got 2, 3, 6, 9, 4. Everything else is 5, 7 or 8. This one can't be 5. It's 7 or 8. Why won't that help? 6 is placed in the box. It's there. This is also 5, 7 or 8, but that's not 8. This isn't 6. 6 is placed here. That reaches into the centre of the puzzle, so we get 6 in the central box. Then we can do 7 and 6 here. Now that's not 7. This is 5 or 8, but it can't be 8 because one of those is 8, so that's 5. Bye-bye colour. But that gives me a 5 here, and 7 and 8, and 7 and 5 and 8. I'm getting excited now. 7 and 8 and 6. This 7, 8 pair must be resolved. Oh look, there's a 7 down here. Right, I'm getting rid of all of this colour because it's just blooming confusing now. Right, this is a 5, 4, 7 triple. The 5 must go there. This is a 4, 7 pair. I've got a Knight's Move 4. This is 2, 6, 8. That can't be 6. This can't be 2. Oh, I don't know. I'll come back to that in a moment. 7, 6, 1, 9, 5. This is a 3, 4 pair, which we can order now. And we can colour. This is an 8 because it sees a 2 by Knight's Move. Now I must be able to do 2, 8, 6 down here. That sees a 2 and that sees a 2. So that's 2. There we go. This is 2 and 3 up here, I suppose. 7 and 8, just box 1 to do. 5, 6, 4. There we go. That boy is right. And that is a correct solution to a pretty difficult puzzle. That's really interesting. This line had so much more interest in it than I realised. Well done, Scott. Good fun and most enjoyable. Thank you very much for following us on the channel. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, to look at these great puzzles. I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching and bye for now.